Recently, we discovered that Will Smith had been cheated on by his wife Jada. Now, I shared this in quite a few of the groups, and a few of you guys were out there saying that Will Smith's a simp, and there was a discussion, a round table where they got together and Will and his wife had a little discussion about the infidelity, and I found it. And this is the second time I made this video because I went through the round table. I just did it live, recorded it, and I realized, hang on, there's a lot more to this story than anyone is reporting. So I'm going to try and report this now, and it's very interesting. But before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no bullshit, novel dating advice for the modern man. I've got a free PDF in the description on how to overcome adversity, and Will Smith probably should download that because he's going through a bit of that at the moment. So what we're going to do is we are going to go and have a look at let's have a look at this one first. Now, apparently Will was cheating on Jada for quite a long time. This video I found this was almost 3 years ago. Let's get into this.
Consistently, you don't have an open relationship.
Yes. That's the most persistent one.
And is it true?
I think that people get that idea because Will and I are very relaxed. Always told Will, you can do whatever you want.
Wow.
As long as you can look at yourself in the mirror and be okay.
I bet he can look at himself in the mirror and be okay.
Here as his partner, but he is his own man. He has to decide who he wants to be.
So this is 3 years ago, and so Will's obviously been sleeping around quite a lot. Let's move on to the next one.
So I was like, I'll hook it up.
He went to
different worlds to meet Jada and met Cherie and ended up marrying Cherie and having Trey with Cherie.
That's just trippy.
Okay, so just in case you didn't get that, he traveled to meet Jada the first time, but instead of getting with Jada, he ended up with this lady, Cherie, and having a baby. And then obviously that didn't work out, so he went to Jada. So Jada's been hovering around in the background for quite a long time.
Oh, now that's funny. Will ended up meeting his first wife, Cherie, at that taping, even though he was trying to get with Jada. Now, what's even more interesting...
There we go. Now let's move on to the red table where this is what the current drama's about.
Red table for me, just all the stuff that's going on in the press.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was important to come to the table to really clear the air. Somebody made a statement for me that wasn't a statement I made, that went cray-cray.
And one of the reasons why I wanted to come to the table is the media, the headlines. We specifically never said anything.
Yeah.
We were purposely not saying anything. Any headline that says Jada said or Will said or the Smith said is not true. We specifically never said anything.
Right.
So coming to the table was like, we just felt like it got to the point where you gotta say something.
Yeah, and to stop that cycle.
Yeah.
You know, there's people's feelings involved.
Right. Right.
You know, and at the end of the day, I don't like how all of this came to be. That doesn't matter. It's all love. Honestly. And I would usually not, you know, that would be something I wouldn't comment on at all.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like...
Let's just pause it there. Have a look at Will's face. Wow, it looks like he's got puffy eyes. He looks like he's been crying. He does look pretty upset.
Like, it's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's
Nobody's business,
Yeah. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
But, you know, I feel like it's healing that needs to happen. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
Even though this is minuscule, I do feel like it's these kinds of things that create the world that we're in. And the idea of not communicating, not talking about it, not clearing the air, and just being as transparent. Just being
Absolutely.
transparent.
And I'm here with you.
Yeah, I thank you for that, because you've been on a hell of a journey with me. So that's what we're going to start with. This is a very personal journey
Yep.
that became very public
Yes, absolutely.
for whatever reason.
So what happened, Jada?
Okay, so let's start with, I guess about 4.5 years ago.
Yep.
I think it was about 4 years ago. Started a friendship with August. And we actually became really, really good friends. And it all started
Really,
with
really good
he just
friends.
needed some help. You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state.
Because
you
for
know.
me, that was the thing. When Og first came around, he was really sick.
He was really, really sick, yeah.
And the outpouring for him from our family was initially about his health.
Yeah. And I mean, we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull him through. And from there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided.
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to
I
the
was
curb.
done with you.
Yeah. We
Marriages.
I notice with Will, whenever there's a high pressure situation, what he does is he likes to crack a joke. He cracked the joke before, and now he's cracking another joke. It's kind of an avoidance, something that maybe he had developed since he was a child. He wants to avoid or difficult emotional situations, so he cracks a joke and laughs through it. But yeah, they took Org, and they nicknamed him Org, but my understanding is his name's August, and this is the family took him in, they looked after him apparently by what I can hear here, and then he ends up sleeping with Will's wife.
Have that though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we broke up.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy.
Well, at that particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah, I really felt like we could be over. you know?
We were over.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know.
And then what did you do, Jada? Well, he said we could be over, and she said we were definitely over. It seems like they weren't exactly on the same page about what the separation meant.
Well, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August. And one thing I want to get clear
that's
about
where the
is
memes.
one of the things that was kind of swirling in the press about you giving permission, which is, you know, the only person that can give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission, because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker, which he's not.
I think so. I mean, because this is your red table, and you like brought yourself to the red table. I think.
Let's look at the body language right there. You see Will, he's looking down. He's got his hand flat on the table. He's kind of slouched a little bit. His chin's down. He's looking down. He looks sad. And she's looking directly into his eyes. She's kind of got a little bit of a smirk. And she's literally pointing straight at him. It seems like she's in control in this relationship, just by the body language there.
You need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship.
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
Okay, so this is where I saw the memes, the entanglement memes that have been popping up everywhere recently. A relationship, an entanglement. Interesting. Very interesting.
Absolutely. I was in a lot of pain, and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner. I would definitely say we did everything that we could to get away from each other, only to realize that that wasn't possible.
So we come to the red table. So I'm in the Jada position right now. So
Okay.
you know, you during that time launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good. And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with my codependency, which is another thing that I had to learn to break in the cycle. Just that idea of needing to fix and being drawn to people that need help. What is your health?
One thing I got wrong when I first did this is the second time I've watched this and the second time I've recorded this. I saw it the other way around when I just watched this, okay? I saw Will as the codependent and Jada as the narcissist. Now, I remember reading a book on this maybe a year ago. So the narcissist plays the victim and controls the relationship and gaslights, etc. And the codependent goes along and suffers what they must to stay in the relationship. Now, when she said that, when I first recorded this, I was like, who the hell are you? You're flipping it and you're playing the victim when you're really the offender. But after watching all the way to the end of this discussion, I'm now starting to understand that she was actually, to some extent, right. When you look at how she's been hovering in the background while Will's kind of been having his fun all these years, and she's kind of just held on. So I was wrong the first time, and maybe she is a bit of a codependent.
Or whether it's your addictions, there's something about that childhood trauma that feels as though it can be fixed through fixing people versus fixing me.
Yeah.
And I think that whole process with Og really showed me that and taught me that. And I'm really grateful for that lesson.
I feel like that husband, like I'm with you at the press conference. I'm that husband. Now I got to be with you at the press conference while you like tell the world about your transgressions. Like I love my baby. I'm gonna stand by my baby no matter what.
Well, you know, I definitely.
And when I first saw this is where I exploded, and I was like, I felt sorry for Will because that seems like the part that he's playing. Her transgressions, and he's the codependent, always, hanging around. And I didn't know that Will had cheated so many times.
I definitely understand why it would look that way or feel that way, but I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all. Through that particular journey, I learned so much about myself and was able to really confront a lot of emotional immaturity, emotional insecurity, and I was really able to do some really deep healing. And as I came through and started to realize certain things about you and I, he decided to break all communication with me, which was totally understandable.
Right.
And I let that be and hadn't talked to him since.
Right.
So it is a little weird that all this stuff is coming out now, since this was
because for me this was years ago, right? So the fact that it's coming up now, and I think it could feel weird for people that we're laughing and talking about it, but
it happened so long ago.
And our experiences of working through it, fighting through it, talking through it, and therapizing through it. I think that the why now is weird.
Yeah, when I say it's been a huge healing on my life, and just what I had to confront and discover about myself, the ugly truths and the beauty. So it was something that I felt like wasn't really ready to be discussed because it hadn't been that healing. Because
now, after watching this, I've totally changed my mind on her. I thought she was a terrible woman when I first watched this, but there is a little bit here somewhere where what Will did was, here we go.
One is never add your side chick to social media. Well, Will's new alleged mistress is 28-year-old Puerto Rican IMG model Heidi de la Rosa.
Hola, my name is Heidi de la Rosa. I'm from Puerto Rico.
Look at that piece of ass.
Perfect date would be just something very chill.
So this is only recently, so 3 years ago, he was following her and he was going out. There's a bit of evidence here where Will went out to play golf, I believe, and he took photos of himself playing golf at a certain location. And then if you go to her account, not long afterwards, she was playing golf at the exact same place. So they were out together, but they didn't share it on their Twitter. So these guys have been, he's been dating this sexy Puerto Rican for quite a while on the side. And he was following her on Instagram and people found out about it. So let's go back to this.
he hasn't wanted to, Augie and I haven't talked in so long. You know what I mean? So I don't know. This all seemed very strange, But I'm grateful for the journey that you and I have had together. Because I feel like there are a lot of couples that go through those periods. And a lot of couples that have to separate and think it's over. And, the one thing I'll say about you and I is that there's never been secrets.
Right. We came together young, and we were both broken in our own ways, and to be able to make mistakes without the fear of losing your family is so critical.
Yeah. It's the idea of any relationship and trying to get to deeper understanding of love is going to be forged in fire. There's no way around it. And I think that one of the things that I'm deeply grateful in this whole process between you and I is that we have really gotten to that new place of unconditional love.
Because I wasn't sure I was ever going to speak to you again.
I know.
Yeah. Like, the fact that I'm speaking to you again is a miracle.
I would agree.
No, but it ain't for the weak at heart. There's just certain things that you have to go through, and it's like...
And I wish, I wish that wasn't the case. I do. I wish that wasn't the case.
When I first saw this, I was just thinking, this Jada, what a bitch. What a total bitch. But after watching it and then having a little bit more of a background to it, she's actually quite a strong woman. She's actually a pretty cool chick when you think about it. I kind of like this girl, but when I first watched this, I was thinking, what a rotten, cheating, and then she plays the victim and manipulation and all these things, but she's actually kind of cool.
I wish it could be all magic in here.
Yeah. You got to go through some to get the answers. And I'm just happy because I definitely believe that you and I, we never, ever, ever thought that we would make it back.
There's a real power in just knowing somebody's riding with you no matter what. And you really can't know that
until you go
through some stuff, I don't want to go through this no more.
I don't either.
I'm going to get you back first. And then...
You don't get me back. I think you got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay, that's probably true.
But, and I don't think it's about getting anybody back.
No, for me it is.
Okay. I'll give you that petty if that's what you want.
She just gave him permission to sleep with another woman. That's literally, if that's what you want. She literally just said that.
But, I will definitely say it's just part of it.
Yeah.
If you expect to be with somebody for a lifetime.
25 years and counting.
We ride together,
We
we
die
die
together.
together. Bad marriage for life.
That's terrible.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
But yeah, it's just part of the journey.
I told you the first year we were married
What you tell me?
that I can love you through anything.
And I didn't believe you.
Yeah.
If somebody looked through a crystal ball and said, this, and this is gonna happen, I'd be like, no way.
Yeah. You thought I was that I didn't have the girth that it was going to take to ride with you through.
I didn't know if you would be willing to find the deep capacity to love me.
Yeah. How am I doing?
You doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Now that
Wow, that was beautiful. But let's move on to some more of Jada. I thought this was amazing to see, and I think you guys need to see it. Kind of motivational too.
To my queens out there that have been cheated on by their men,
Talking about being cheated on, and this is only last year.
not your fault.
Oh,
Stop
2 years
making
ago,
it your
sorry.
fault. To my kings out there that have been cheated on by their women, stop making it your fault. Yes, women cheat too. Now here's the other thing. Sex is one of the strongest forces in the universe that we have to deal with. This is about self-mastery. It's not even about what's going on in the relationship. This is about self-mastery, okay? So if you think just because somebody says they love you, or you think just because they want to be in a relationship with you that means that that's going to dissolve all their traumas that they come with, you know what I'm saying? And that they're going to know how to deal with their traumas? No, people gonna mess up. So here's the thing. Make sure you're with someone that is interested in mastering themselves and everything that they come with. And I know that there's a lot of pain that comes with infidelity, but relationships is a spiritual endeavor. Just make sure you're with somebody who's worth it. Now, I want to make something clear. I talked about how love and devastation go hand in hand, because it's impossible to get inside of a relationship and think that to find the depths of relating, that you can find the depths of relating without being challenged with pain. Now, we also have to have the clarity to understand who is worthy of us walking with them through certain devastations, and when it's time to walk away, because I'm going to let you know something. Not everybody you love is meant to be the person you build a life with. Okay? Sometimes you got to love them from over there, because you can love them, but sometimes it's got to be from over there. But you can't love somebody else more than you love you. Ever.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. That was very romantic. It was very intriguing to see their relationship. I think I learned a lot about not only their relationship, but what it takes to keep a long-term relationship together. And I guess if you're going to get involved in this type of a relationship, when you're public, it can be a little bit more difficult. But I guess also these days we have learnt that a relationship is something that, okay, we have one argument, then it's game over. But they clearly don't believe that. This is a lifelong marriage that they've got going through thick and thin. They obviously are sticking to their vows when they got married, which is quite rare these days, considering the divorce rate is over 50% and rising in Western countries. So I learnt a lot, and I have a lot more respect for both of them, as it was almost a tearjerker when they gave each other the high five and the fist pump. But anyway, I just thought I would share that with you guys. Oh, well, it was more for my benefit anyway. And anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.